everyone, it's Luke here, and welcome my fellow film nerds to this little slice of film nonsense. As always, if you do fancy supporting my little homemade movie channel and want to hear my ramblings, a like and subscribe is always welcome. So today I want to have a close look at Gladiator 2. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about my feelings about Mr. Ridley Scott. To give you a bit of context here, I've kind of got a love-hate relationship with the filmography of Mr. Scott. In fact, I'd even go as far to say that I think he is one of the most inconsistent filmmakers there is. This man never makes films that are just okay or average. To me, he makes two kinds of films: incredible and terrible. And very rarely is there anything in between those two. And when I mean great, I really mean it. We've got Blade Runner, Alien, The Martian, Thelma and Louise, Matchstick Men, and of course Gladiator. But he's also responsible for Napoleon, House of Gucci, those awful Alien prequels, and A Good Year. So what camp is Gladiator 2 going to sit in, I wonder? This sequel begins 16 years after the event of Gladiator and following from the death of Marcus Aurelius. The story starts out in the North African kingdom of Numidia, where Hanno, this film's hero, who's played by Paul Mescal, he's living with his wife and they are preparing for the invasion of the Roman army, led by a Roman general played by Pedro Pascal. During the attack, his wife is tragically killed and Hanno, our hero, along with the rest of his Numidian friends, is taken into slavery as the Romans take possession of the kingdom, all in the name of the emperors. At this time, Rome is actually ruled by the young and corrupt twin emperors, who are portrayed as cruel, spoilt, power-hungry, and frankly a bit mad and very much horrible. Well, the rest of the film really is about Hanno fighting in the arena as a gladiator, rising up against the oppression of political tyranny and the corruption of Rome, and coming to terms with his background. Hopefully that was as spoiler-free as possible. So the plot follows very closely with the themes of the first one. We have a commander of men, family killed, into slavery, gladiator rising through the ranks, and to be fair, it kind of works. I was worried that the film may slip into Alien prequel territory, where we get hours and hours of unnecessary musing on life. But luckily here, Ridley Scott realises the kind of film he's trying to make, and more importantly, he understood who he's making it for. Does this film's plot move the whole story forward? No, not really, but it does enough to hang action, visuals and spectacles on. After all, that's why we're here, aren't we? So let's talk about spectacle. As you can imagine, Ridley Scott is at his best when he's building convincing worlds, and in this movie he does just that. It looks just incredible. From set pieces to CGI to production design, you can see where that $250 million budget was spent. The action sequences again were really lush, but there was never any doubt, was it? If I was going to moan, it would be CGI monkeys and rhinos, but it wasn't enough to spoil my enjoyment. So far we have a plot that works, action that's enjoyable, and a background that's incredible to look at. So how about the cast? Well, Paul Mescal has big shoes to fill, and to be fair, he does a decent job. He doesn't, alas, have the intensity of Russell Crowe, but very few people do. But he does manage to create a believable character, and it could have easily slipped into parody, but that didn't happen here. But make no mistake, this is clearly Denzel Washington's film. And to quote the film reviewer Jack Coyle, he said this: his performance as the Machiavellian power broker is so compellingly over the top that it nearly reaches for the 1990s Al Pacino standards. And I kind of agree with him here. He really does chew up the scenery. If I was going to critique the film, and I really should, as this is a review channel, it would be about the ideas this film really needed. It's great, yeah, it is fun, but it's not the original. They effectively share the same world and the same plot, and in a few cases the same action sequences. Yes, it is done very well, but it is very much a case of same old, same old. That, of course, and the overlong running time of 2.5 hours. Again, I'm not sure that was really needed to tell this story. Now, I've seen an ocean of reviews that didn't like this film. I feel a little different. Ultimately, Gladiator 2 gets the job done. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it doesn't have to. I don't think for one second Ridley Scott was setting out to make a masterpiece here. He was simply happy about making a really great action movie, and that's what he achieves. Thanks Ridley, and welcome back. So it would be fair to say that I actually really enjoyed this film. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. It didn't outstay its welcome and it entertained me all the way through it. And I'm a man who doesn't really like sequels. So I was really pleased it didn't disappoint. So that's all from me. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe. I really appreciate that also. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye everyone.